Welcome back, everybody, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at our next topic, which is going to be time-based access lists. So we're going to take pretty much exactly what we did in the previous video, and we're going to leverage the same configuration that we did, but now we're going to be taking a look at it from the perspective of what time is it. So if we do a show clock, the clock is telling me that it's 2:45 a.m., which is not correct. So that's 2:45 UTC. So if I go to global config and I do the clock, I set the time zone, and the time zone is going to be Central Standard Time, which is where I'm located, and I need to specify the UTC. So the offset is going to be -6, and then I hit the enter key, and I come down here and do a show clock again. It's thinking that it's 8:45, which is closer but not quite exact. I'm going to do a clock set to be 2200 on April 15th, 2019. That is the appropriate time currently. Now, which means that if I was to create a time base where normal 9 to 5 operations, like for a normal organization, then this would be a when you would map the time base to the ACL, the access list would be inactive. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go to global config and type in time base or time range. We'll say weekdays. Well, actually, no. Let's do corp, and we'll come in here and then we'll say it's going to be a periodic, and we're going to say weekdays, and the start time we're going to do is 06:00, so 0600 to, and we're going to say 2200. So which means from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. in that time range, whenever this particular the time range is allocated to, actually let's make that 2300. Is allocated, it's going to go ahead and make the access list active. Okay. So if I go in here and I do a do show run section access list, what you're going to end up seeing, actually that's going to show me a lot more than I wanted to, but let's say for the moment that we go underneath this IP access list extended ACL filter, and I type in this permit command here. So I type in permit right here, and I come into the very end of this line, and I type in the time range, and I type time-range, and the time range we'll say is corp. We get the enter key. We type in do show IP access list. What you're going to see is for that specific entry that it's active, right? So what I'll do is I'm actually going to come in here and type in no 10, and I'll type in 10, and then I'll do the command again since it's right there. This is the actual legit code for it. I'll do that, and then I'll type in do show IP access list. And now you see that the permit 10, yeah. Why did that not take? No 90, 10, permit, do show run section access list. Oh, that's weird. We'll say permit, or 10, permit TCP from 10.1.1.0, 0.0.0.255 to any destination equal to dub time range is going to be corp. Do show IP access list. There we go. So now it's been assigned and should be active, which means that we're going to permit communication outbound. So this will apply to anything that wherever the time range is associated to with a access list, then that particular entry in the access list will be mentioned. So the other one we have to do is type in no 20, and that should remove that entry from the ACL. So that's exactly what we're looking for. So now I'm going to go back over to the test machine here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up I'll pull up this guy here, and I'll type in google.com, and it pulls up pretty quick. We hit the up arrow, we go back over, and we have matches on it. Now let's say, for instance, I go and I say the clock time zone is, we'll say CST, and I'm going to say -5, which means we're East Coast, which should change the time from 10 o'clock to 2300, which means if I type in do show IP access list now, my access list is inactive. So by changing the time, you see that the access list now is inactive, and that will no longer match. So if I try to go and do this again, and I go back to Google and I resynchronize the connection, it does pull up, and that's because I'm mapping that to this entry right here. So if I type in no 30, IP access list extended ACL filter, I type in no 30, type in 30, and then permit TCP to 10.1.1.00.0.255 any destination equal to 443 time range of corp, and do show IP access list. That one's going to be inactive as well. So if I come back over here and do the sync up, we're going to come up here and we're going to see denied the traffic out, and we should start to see hits. Actually, no, we won't. We'll see the deny IP any will kick in because we're not matching on any of these other options here, and if the ACL filter is dropping the traffic with the deny. So the deny connection is being dropped, as you can see. If we hit the up arrow, well, we should go from 16 to 32 matches. So it is attempting to do it. And if we hit the up arrow here on the netstat, you're going to see a bunch of SYN sent. So you'll see SYN sent right here. This stuff is going out. It's trying to form the connection, but it can't. So we know that the access list is working appropriately because of the time range. So that's just an example of how that would come into play, and go from there. Until next time, guys, thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.